The Ranch is heading to Las Vegas for the National Finals Rodeo December 1st through the 10th with Malone.
And I am with 95.9 The Ranch, and we have moved from our booth at Cowboy Christmas, which you can probably tell. Now, sitting beside me, Shane Smith. How are you, Shane?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, I gotta say, when they said the Brooklyn Bowl, I was thinking bowl like arena.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, but in fact,
no, yeah.
we're talking about real bowling.
That's right.
How are you at bowling?
I'm terrible. I'm actually so bad at it. Every time I go into it, I'm going in like, you got this will be fine. Like I prove it to myself and my friends like over and over again. I'm just so bad at it.
Just to make sure. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, first things first, I'd like to congratulate you on your overnight success.
Oh my God.
Isn't it crazy?
Dude, yeah. It has been such an interesting last couple of years for sure. I mean, you're fully aware of how long we've been at this without a whole lot of success.
Well,
and, over the last like year and a half, 2 years, it started to finally it was almost like dots getting connected. The Yellowstone thing, the first time we were featured in the last season, obviously it was like dots got connected, I feel like, all over the country, and it's just made a world of difference, you know, and then we were on this last season as well, and so it's really cool. We're getting some really cool opportunities and have a just incredible team that we're working with right now, you know.
Yeah.
And so anyways, yeah, it's been crazy.
Well, you guys have been playing 10 years, longer than that?
Yeah, I've been at it for, I want to say probably 13 or something like that. And
yeah.
As a band, well, what are we at, 2022 right now?
It's
so,
something
yeah.
like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably like 13 years or something for me, and but with the guys, probably about a decade or so at least, I would think. And yeah, it's pretty wild because it was almost like for us catching any kind of a break was almost like every single little bar we ever played counted all of a sudden.
Yes.
Because it was like all of a sudden like people
oh,
were like, wait,
yeah, that guy.
we did see them like in you know,
yes,
wherever. And
exactly. It's like, why'd you wait till Yellowstone to point it out? But
and so that's what was cool about it, you know, because we toured very, very hard, but
yes.
It was all in tiny bars throughout the country, you know.
Well, it was organic. I mean, you got your fans by playing. That's exactly
100%,
yes. And now, so
which is a good thing.
It
like,
is.
That's what you want.
I mean,
you
that's
know?
what we do in Texas. But Taylor Sheridan, I mean, he is one of the most passionate people I have ever seen about this music.
Yeah.
How did it start? Are you buddies with him, or were you, or did he just call you out of the blue?
No. So his music supervisor for like all of his work reached out to our manager and we're like, hey, we want to license the song All I See Is You for 2 episodes in the 4th season. And we were just like, oh my God, this is incredible. We'd never had a placement on anything, and then all of a sudden it's like your first placement is the most watched show on earth right now, you know, and so it's crazy. Yeah, and after that happened, or like in the process of working that out, they were like, and we're going to give you a name shout out as well. And we were like, what is that? What do you mean? And they were like, we can't talk about it, but, you know, just watch the episode or whatever. So we had no clue of any of that.
My gosh.
And then sure enough, he's the one that's saying, giving our name shout out or whatever in the episode. And so then that was alone kind of like, wait a second, that's kind of, you know, he's writing the script, like, you know, and, like maybe that's a deal. And
he changed the name of your band slightly.
Yeah, a little bit. And my mom was devastated. We made shirts with it.
I love it. I was going to ask you how rich you would be if you had $1 for every time somebody has come up to you and said that.
Yeah,
Since
for sure.
Shane Smith, if you didn't see the episode, Shane Smith and the Freaking Saints or something like that.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. Yeah. It'd definitely be a little bit more money in the pocket for sure. But anyways, and so watched the episode, obviously, and we were on tour at the time, and we were in Virginia Beach playing a show on a Sunday night when it aired.
Yeah.
And so we turned the whole venue into a watch party, and then we played right after. And so we were just with the fans, like watching it on the screen and stuff. And anyways, after that, we came to find out that it was because he's been a really big fan for a long time, and I guess a lot of times, like when he's writing and stuff, he'll like listen to a certain song like over and over and over again.
Really?
And Yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
and so that episode, he was listening to that song over and over again and he named the episode "All I See Is You." And anyways, and since then we've got to do a lot of really cool stuff with him and play like certain events for like Paramount, like the execs for Paramount, and like at the Bosque Ranch, we went and did a show for him up there. The Run for a Million in Vegas, we came out and played for him.
What an awesome.
And so it's just been really cool. We literally just saw him. He interviewed right after me at the for the Teton Ridge folks over there.
Yes.
And so, anyways, yeah, and I think we're gonna go hang at the premiere of the new show, the 1923 show.
I've heard that they've got that premiere happening. That is incredible.
So it's just been a really neat thing, obviously, and it's turned into a lot of cool opportunities and just cool relationships in general. And obviously, we're just excited and just super thankful for it, because we've seen a lot of other people get opportunities like this, but it's never been like on an independent level. It was always primarily people with, on a major label or something like that.
Right. And it's never been you before.
Yeah. Oh my God, no. It's never been us for sure.
It is incredibly well deserved, though. I mean, it's so exciting for us as an independent radio station who's been playing you for probably close to those 10 years.
And I'd be curious, like, how many interviews we've done with you guys, like, over the years, and how many things we've done together. So it's neat.
Well, maybe by next year you won't even have time for us, and you'll say the ranch food.
No, whatever, man. Whatever.
No, we love what you do. Now, I liked the teases that you did with the pictures on social media of y'all in front of the Yellowstone bar and all that stuff. So, is there anything that you can tell us about Yellowstone that Taylor wouldn't?
Like on set and stuff like that.
Yeah, just tell us something cool that you can.
Something I think is cool. I've always been like really fascinated with like Native American history and looking into that, and I think he's very much in the same boat with that. But that is, where that's at is the Chief Joseph Ranch, where he was the chief of the Nez Perce tribe that's up there in that area. Yeah, and I don't know, like, that, someone would fact check me and say terrible things about me. I'm sure if I started saying that, he retired, he lived there at one point. I doubt he ever lived there. I have no idea, but I just know it's named after him, and I need to look into the history of it more. Yeah. But I thought that was pretty cool, and it's a beautiful place. I mean, we got to kind of walk around it and check it all out, and just everything about it is really incredible.
How's the cast just to hang out with?
Man, they were awesome. We hung out with some of the bunkhouse folks.
The bunkhouse folks, you gotta love them.
Totally, yeah. And we did an event for Paramount up in Montana a couple weeks ago, and some of the bunkhouse people were there, so we got to hang with them and actually like connected on a lot of levels with a lot of them, because they're also, they're in the same boat that we've been in. They've been trying to get acting gigs for years and years, and this is a great opportunity for them in the same way that we're so stoked to be a part of it. And they, it was like we all, you kind of see it eye to eye on that front. And it's kind of cool to connect that dot. And but yeah, they were all just so down to earth, like incredibly down to earth, and we managed to keep in touch with some of them on social media and stuff like that, and invite them out to shows if we're ever in New York or wherever, and but man, they're busy right now, all over the place. I think a couple of them are in Canada, and they're going to be here either tonight or tomorrow, or for that premiere, I think tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then in Fort Worth, most of them are riding in the celebrity cutting competition, that Carity puts on every year.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Now, when you were on the premiere of season 5, that was incredible. I had no idea that you were going to be featured, and then that you got to say...
We had to keep quiet. We couldn't say anything about it. Like, my parents didn't know about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did your wife? Okay, don't answer that.
No, yeah, she knew about it.
Yeah.
She was on set with us. She went up there with...
Spousal privilege, though. So
oh,
she was...
for sure, yeah. No, she was up there.
So, did you know that you were going to get to say on the TV show, I'm Shane Smith and the Saints, and get that out?
No, the director, when we were on set, it was... more or less we're playing this, like more induction, like celebratory event for John Dutton becoming governor, and we didn't really know much details other than that. We were the band essentially for that party, and but when we were up there, the director came up to me and was like, yeah, just say something like congrats to Mr. Dutton and the Duttons, like thanks for having us, we're gonna play a dancing song, just something like that. And I was like I'm talking? Like you want me saying something? He was like, yeah, just say that on the mic, like as if you're addressing him. I was like,
so you're playing yourself
I didn't know I was
on Yellowstone.
Yeah, I was like, I did not know that was going on. And anyways, but I asked him, I was like, do you care if I introduce who we are? And he was like, yeah, go for it, absolutely. And so I just said it one time, and he was like, all right, that's good. Let's move over to so-and-so. I was like, is that okay? I don't know. He's like, no, it's fine, it's good.
Wow.
He's a super laid-back guy and super nice dude, but yeah, I was pretty freaked out there for a second. I did not realize that I was going to be talking or anything.
I'm excited to see if you come back and you become more of a character of yourself.
Oh,
I guess.
man, I don't know about that.
But I did hear, and I love this, your fiddle player, who's always wearing the overalls and no shirt.
Yeah.
But because the governor was there, I heard he had to make a change.
Yeah, they had to put a shirt on him, and then
That's
I
funny.
think the people in wardrobe, like, they have no idea who we are or what our brand is or whatever, and so. Yeah, they had to put a shirt on Bennett, and then...
did he play okay still?
He did fine,
Okay.
and then, I didn't know if it would work, it was like one of those deals.
Yeah.
But, and then Chase, our bassist, they made him, like, put a long-sleeve shirt on because of his tattoos and stuff, and then...
The governor was
and
there.
he always wears a hat. Poor guy, always wears a hat. Like, literally, it's like his thing. And,
like a ball cap?
And they were like, yeah, we can't have a hat on you. And he's just like, what? And so anyways, he was up there with no hat and long sleeves. And anyways, but it was all good.
That's awesome. I know you got to get to sound check, but in addition to Yellowstone, you've got a single that we're playing the heck out of.
Yeah, and I
that
appreciate that a lot.
I mean, it has got such a cool sound because it doesn't sound like your other stuff, but it does sound like y'all. That makes no sense, I realize, but
for sure.
it's
definitely
different.
more of a, there you go, there that boy go. It's definitely more of a, it's definitely more of a, kind of like an indie rock sounding song, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think our blend is very much like when we first started playing, it was much more of like a red dirt country type of thing. But it still had kind of a rock thing to it as well. And over time, it's become a little bit more of like an indie folk rock type sound.
Right.
And I feel like it's a good interpretation of what we're doing these days on stage and a lot of the music we're writing. And I just like kind of straddling that line and, throw out stuff that's folk and country, like has country roots to it, and or maybe is singing about stuff that, country people can relate to, you know, and while also not getting away from what we enjoy playing. And so, anyways, yeah, it's got a different sound to it. I bet y'all have some listeners that are probably upset that it's not more country. But,
Absolutely not. Now, don't get me wrong. If they don't like something we do, we know, just like you didn't want to talk about
Well, I
the
see
Indians.
Shane Hollinger all the time, like, people just dogging on him, like, oh my God.
I know, the poor guy,
These people are horrible.
He's the nicest guy, and he just gets,
He's literally like the nicest human being I've ever met, and he'll post on Facebook all the time, like, just hate mail that he gets from these people, like, I'm just like, oh my God, dude, I don't know how you do it.
Where did the lyrics come from for your latest single? Because they're really cool, and I know you tend to write autobiographically.
Yeah, a lot of times. I think it's, this is one of those that I think more, a lot more people can relate to, and it's kind of, with like relationships, if you lose out on a relationship and have like kind of that regret that's like, man, if I had done this, or we had done this, or we had worked harder, like, and it's kind of like, it's kind of down that vein, and singing about, a lot of the feelings that come with that, and trying to more or less like kind of dream it to come back true, and, live back in that moment again, in that reality again. And I think it to some people it's just like another another song. I think to a lot of people, when they dig into the lyrics, it like hits really hard for them, you know.
Yeah.
And I've seen that through like messages and stuff, and that's my whole goal, man. Is like if we can make music that sounds good and have lyrics that means like really deep stuff to other people, like that's what I care about. So
yeah, well, you keep doing exactly what you're doing. Now, I don't know what you mean by these failed relationships. I've never experienced one of those.
No, hey, I've been fortunate in that department. I've been with my girls since we were like 15.
That is so incredible.
We don't know any different.
Well, you've got a show to play. We're with Shane Smith at the Brooklyn Bowl. Now, do you have time for a quick bowling round?
Oh my God, yeah, but you don't want to see it. I promise. Promise.
Okay,
you.
we'll do that off camera.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for taking
Absolutely.
time to talk to us. I know it's going to be a great show tonight, and stop by anytime when we're back in Texas.
Totally,
All right.
absolutely. Look forward to it. Thank you.